Hello and welcome to this lecture, and from this lecture onwards we are going to learn about an interesting thing in Python, that is how to create Python applications with a graphical user interface. So till now we have actually coded Python programs and we actually had the result in the terminal or command line format right over here, but now we are actually going to design some applications which will have the interface like this PyCharm right over here. So if you look at the PyCharm interface, there is a window and you have these menus over here and you have drop down menus over here, you have several items over here, you also have some buttons over here, you also have drop down list and everything like that. So that is what is called as a graphical user interface, that is the interface which provides a graphical look to the user so that the interaction of the user with the program actually becomes quite easy and efficient. So the main purpose of using a graphical interface is to basically make it easy for the end user to interact with our application, because if you are developing a very complex application, then the graphical user interface plays the most important role, because if your graphical user interface is easy to use, then it would be much easier for the user to get accustomed with your software. But if your graphical user interface is very poor, or if the design is very poor, then people are not going to use your software. So that's what we are going to learn in this entire section, that is how to basically design graphical user interface in Python. Now we are going to use a module which is called as Tkinter, which is Tkinter, which is a module which will allow us to basically go ahead and design a window and allow us to add buttons, text boxes, radio buttons, check boxes and drop down menus and everything like that. So in this tutorial, as this is the first tutorial, we will learn how to basically go ahead and create a simple window. So the first thing which we need to do before starting to write in the code is to import the Tkinter module. So you need to type in from Tkinter, so that is Tkinter, Tkinter, and you type in import star. So what import star does is that star is going to import all the things from this Tkinter package. So as we need a lot of things from Tkinter, instead of importing them one by one each and every time, we are going to import it all at once by using a star. So the star basically means we need to import it all. Now once we have this thing, the next thing which we need to do is that we actually need to go ahead and we need to actually create a window, because if you don't have a window, you cannot go ahead and place your elements. So the first task would be to create a window. So in order to do that, what we do is that we create a root object. So we type root equals, and here we simply type in tk. So tk is actually a class from the Tkinter package, and we have created its object and we have named that object as root. And we have already gone through object-oriented programming in Python, and you must know that this is how we create objects in Python. So this thing right here is our class, and we have named our object as root. So once we are done with this, let's go ahead and create an element which we are going to add on to this window. So let's say you want to add in a label. So simply go down here and let's name the label as label1. So we type label1 equals, and then we type in label. So basically this allows us to create a label, and to this we actually need to pass in two parameters. First is we need to pass in this root object which we have created, which states that this label belongs to this root object, that is this label is going to be on this window right here. So you need to pass in root, and the next thing which you need to pass in is going to be the text which would be displayed on the label. So let's type in text equals, and here let's type in the text as hello world. Alright, so once we have created this label, the next thing which you need to do is that you actually need to add this label to the window. So the thing is that we have created that label, we have the label with us, but we need to add that label to the window. So even if you have created the label, still this label is not added. So you need to make sure that you add it up. So in order to add this label, we take the label name which is label1, and to basically add it to the window, we use a method which is called as pack. So we type in pack, and what pack essentially does is that it packs up the label onto the window. So once you are done with this, you could save the code, but when you run this code, as you could see, nothing happened. So the reason for that is when you actually write in this code, your code is going to get executed so quickly that you won't be able to notice the window. So as soon as you execute the program, the window appears, the label appears, but our computer is so fast that it actually executes the code and it automatically closes up the window. So we need some code which is going to make the window wait unless and until we actually hit the close button on that window. So we need to include a final line of code here, and that is nothing but root.main loop. So what this is going to do is that it is actually going to put up our window in a loop so that the window only closes when we hit the close button. So if you save the code now and if you run this, as you could see, the window popped up right over here, and it's actually a very small window because we have not mentioned its size. So if you drag this thing up here, as you could see, this is our label which says hello world, and this is our window. So this is how you could create graphical user interface in Python, and this was the basic example in which I have shown you how to create a basic window with a label on it which says hello world. So let's go through the code once again and learn what we have done. So the first thing which we did is that we have imported Tkinter and we have imported everything from Tkinter. Now the next thing which we do is that we create the object for the TK class because we want to have a window over here. Then we have created the label in this line of code, added the label to the window by using label1.pack. So whenever you actually want to add certain item or a certain widget onto the window, we use the pack function. And finally, to keep this window running, we have put the main loop on the root. So that's it for this lecture, and I hope you guys understood how to create a simple window in Python. And in the upcoming lectures, we are going to learn how to create some more complex widgets and how to add them up over here. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.